Hi, it's Zech with the Eastside Church of Christ in Baytown, Texas. Thanks for joining us for our Eastside Bible reading for the week of November 29th through December 5th, 2020. We continue in the book of Zechariah, and Zechariah's prophecies continue with pronouncements of judgment on neighboring nations while looking forward to a great conquering king for Israel. Zechariah chapter 11 speaks of an undervalued shepherd, while also describing the broken unity of God's people in terms of two staffs named favor and unity. The closing chapters of Zechariah seems to point to the gospel age where God's Spirit pours out grace, false prophets are doomed, and a stricken shepherd appears. Jesus applied this passage to himself in Matthew chapter 26 and verses 31 and 32. Finally, Zechariah closes with a picture of God's sovereignty and the establishment of the king of Israel. Returning back to the book of Ezra, we see the results of Haggai and Zechariah's preaching. Work on the temple is resumed, but Israel's enemies try to put a stop to the work by writing to the Persian king Darius. Darius confirms the Jews' sanction to build and also authorizes more money for further provisions. Ezra 6 concludes with the completion and the dedication of the temple in 516 BC, over 20 years after the Jews had returned home to do the job. The book of Esther chronologically takes place between Ezra chapter 6 and 7, so we'll read it here in its chronological order. The book of Esther has the distinction of not specifically mentioning the name of God, but it's hard not to see the providence of God as the undercurrent or undertheme of the book. The book opens with a depiction of the splendor of the Persian Empire during Ahasuerus' time. He's also known as Xerxes. He reigned from 486 to 465 BC. Also shows us the power of the king, having removed his queen from her position for seeming impertinence. The story moves to how Esther came to be queen in her place. The whole process that you can read about in chapter 2 greatly devalued women, and Esther is spared the fate of being a mere concubine who might never be summoned to the king, which was really in that time a virtual widowhood. The drama heightens as her cousin Mordecai refuses to bow before the king's trusted advisor Haman. And in spite, Haman devises a plan to wipe out the entire Jewish people and gets the king to sign off on the order. The drama heightens further as Mordecai entreats Esther to go to the king for help. And so we wonder, will she do it? Won't she do it? Esther decides finally to seek the king's help. And in the meantime, Haman is forced to honor Mordecai publicly. But that's just the beginning of his humiliation. It's all downhill from here for Haman. Well, our New Testament reading concludes John's first letter with his encouraging words of victory and confident prayer. And as we move into his other two letters, we see that John is concerned with issues that are both doctrinal and practical. And finally, his revelation opens with a spectacular vision of Jesus as judge. And his letters to the churches provide sobering wake-up calls even for his people today. We'll have more to say in the coming weeks as we finish up our annual reading in the book of Revelation. I hope you'll join us. Happy reading. God bless you.